T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. My life has value.
Good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Global Watchman News. My name is Laurie Swan. I hope you guys are all doing well. If you are in the live chat, we do ask that you keep it family friendly. There will be moderators in there to make sure that we stay within the terms of service put forth to us by the platform we're utilizing tonight. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Take a minute, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when we go live. So there has been a change in the scheduling for tonight. Wednesday nights, when we usually have Big John and Ann and Hero, but unfortunately, there's some really bad weather going on in South Texas, right where both Ann and John are at, and we decided that it would probably be best if they pay attention to the weather so that they have the ability to take cover should the need arise. So it's going to be Ernie and I tonight, and so we changed the topic. Good evening, Ernie.
You're killing me.
I know. I'm sorry. Okay, guys. Okay, so I'm out running errands earlier today, and I'm tired. I've got so much. Doing spring cleaning, trying to get this house ready to sell, so we can get the heck out of Chicago. And so I had to do a bunch of running around to do. I'm talking Ernie on the phone as I'm driving. Don't worry, I had it hooked up to my phone, hands free. And so I uh, I told him, I was like, I don't think we're gonna do a show tonight. And then I was like, he's like, well, I don't know. I think I want to. So you're more than welcome to. You got the keys, do it. Go ahead, And he's like, okay, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I was like, all right, cool. So I contacted Ann and I contacted John and I made sure that they were ready to go tonight. And then I got home and I set up the link as normal. So you guys probably already saw that the link was up. We were going to talk about Disney. And then the weather started. And so we decided that we're going to cancel it. And then some news broke a little while ago that we just decided we wanted to talk about. So, right?
Yep.
How it went.
And I was sitting here watching Ryan Hall, y'all. A tornado started brewing in southeast Texas, and like hail, like the size of softballs falling down 100 miles an hour. Yeah, it was pretty intense.
Yeah, and Rick is in southeast Texas as well. Rick, our thoughts and our prayers are with you guys. 4-inch hail in Waco earlier today. Ryan Hall was telling people, get your animals inside. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, I figured we should call it tonight. But here we are right now. Boy had to message me like 15 minutes ago. Hey, you want to do a quick live?
Real quick.
I won't tell you where I was when she messaged me. But I was like,
you were in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're killing me. Give me 5 minutes.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Hey, ain't no shame in my game. We all do it.
I know. So anyway, we wanted to talk to you guys about Turkey's President Erdogan. It seems, and okay, I'm going to tell you guys that we've got conflicting reports. So it's come out that President Erdogan has been hospitalized after suffering heart attack. Now, I was sent a message by Big John, and he said Erdogan is in the hospital in critical condition, and he said heart attack or poisoning. Now, John knows things that the mainstream media doesn't post because of his military ties, because of the people that he knows. So when he sends me something that has to do with events that are going on, and he says something other than what the mainstream media is saying, I always take him at his word. Right, Ernie?
Yep.
Yeah. John has more than proved himself to us over the past several months as an invaluable source of information.
Yes, and when he says something, that's something we got to look into. I mean,
exactly. So when he sent me a
nudge,
message,
nudge, heart attack, hint, cough, cough.
Right, heart attack, that kind of thing. So yeah, so we immediately I pulled up the everything, and it says that he's been hospitalized after suffering a heart attack. What do I got here?
You know what's really weird? It's already midweek, and look what happened already this week. We seen Tucker Carlson, Dan Bongino, and Don Lemon all get fired from their respective news outlets. For starters, we got another bank on the verge of collapse, and they halted shares today. And now we're getting hit with this, and plus the weather that's going on in Texas right now.
Yeah. By the way, what is the name of the bank?
I can't remember what it was called.
Well, I'll pull up our messages. Hold on a second. We haven't talked that much today, so.
Yeah, we haven't really. First Republic Bank.
Right. First Republic Bank, and I had looked into it, and it looked like they had pulled, what was it? What did I say? They pulled, what I
think it was $100
$100 billion out.
in deposits.
Yeah, deposits out. They had, people had gone and had pulled out. Trying to find it here, $100 billion. So, I mean, that's a lot. That's a big hit. Whether even if you're a big bank, that would be a big hit. So, yeah.
I will pull it up on the screen. I have it here.
Got it. Okay. So while you're doing that, we'll go on with Erdogan. So it says Turkish President Recep Erdogan was hospitalized after suffering a heart attack on April 26, 2023, according to a statement issued by the presidency. Erdogan was taken to the hospital in critical condition and received treatment for myocardial infarction, commonly known as a heart attack. The president's office also announced that all of Erdogan's pre-election speeches and public events have been canceled until May 3rd, 2 weeks before the election. The announcement has caused uncertainty in the political sphere as Erdogan's re-election campaign was already facing significant opposition from other political parties. Erdogan has been in power since 2003, serving as prime minister until 2014 and then as president. He has been a controversial figure, with his administration facing criticism from various groups and individuals over issues such as freedom of speech and human rights violations. So, so he's in the hospital. Now, I don't know if you guys use this site. Let me pull it up. It's a pretty good site to use. This is, it's teletrader.com, and I have it up all the time now since I found it in the background. So if I'm like on Facebook or something, I've always got this tab up. And I'll show you the main one in just a minute. But this one popped up a little while ago. Turkey denies that Erdogan has suffered a heart attack. Turkish Vice President Fuat Oktay insisted on Wednesday that President Erdogan is, quote, in good health after Erdogan canceled a number of meetings on Wednesday and Thursday. Turkish presidential election is set to take place on May 14th, with Erdogan expected to face opposition leader in the runoff. Admitting that Erdogan has had such a critical change in his medical condition would definitely put doubt in his party, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And there's just something fishy about this, because look what happened in Turkey this year.
Yeah. Turkey has definitely crazy stuff happening in Turkey. I mean, that the huge earthquake aside, just craziness. We got, the weird clouds in the sky. We've got what is it? The fissures that are opening up in the ground. I mean, just strange things happening in Turkey.
Yeah, this kind of gives me Gaddafi vibes.
Right. Well, it's interesting because I asked you before we went live if you had known that for a while people were claiming that Erdogan could possibly be the Antichrist.
I did not know that at all.
Yeah.
Because all of our eyes has been focusing on just a few key people that's in society right now, such as Obama, Prince William, Emmanuel Macron, those, or even Donald Trump. I mean, those are the four people that I can think of off the top of my head. Yeah. But Erdogan, or Erdogan, whatever however you say his name. But yeah, I never passed on any information as far as that he could potentially be that.
Yeah, I know a lot of people back in 14, 12, or 13 and 14 were a lot of people I've read on social media. When I had Exposing Satanic World Government, it was when we had the big page, the like 200,000 people subs page. They a lot of people were, oh no, he's the Antichrist. We know, he's the Antichrist. Look at it, he comes from Turkey. And I was like, too easy, guys. Come on, look a little deeper.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the person we least expect it to be. I mean, there's all sorts of valid theories and stuff like that, but we won't know until it actually happens. To be
Yeah,
honest with you.
exactly. So all eyes on Turkey. We're going to be keeping an eye on that. It's going to be interesting what's going to happen politically if anything happens to him before the election.
And I believe Turkey is a part of the Ezekiel
Yes.
Gog and Magog war, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Part of the Ezekiel 34, 35, and Isaiah 17. And yeah, it's part of the Gog and Magog prophecy. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we talked about how we talked earlier today about how these events are just like happening at a rapid pace.
Yeah.
Like we thought last year was bad, the year before was bad.
Yeah.
We haven't seen anything like this before. It's like time is just like rushing by. I remember working early in the morning on stuff for my sermon and work. Next thing I knew, it was dark time.
Yeah. Yeah. We've talked about this, how, time is just, literally speeding up to the point where I don't feel like I have enough hours in the day to get anything done. I know I'm not the only one. You've experienced it, and I know a lot of people that
Have
I
you been
talk to.
feeling dizzy?
Huh?
Have you been feeling dizzy? Like you have a rush
Oh
up
yeah,
to your head?
I'm
Well,
dizzy all the time with my lupus and stuff anyway. So
well, myself and all of my family have been going through that recently.
wow, interesting. Did you guys see that the what is it? The Schumann resonance is like almost to nothing, like null.
Interesting.
I thought that was quite interesting because the Schumann resonance is the heartbeat of our world, of our plane, and it's down to literally. Let me see if I can find it. Schumann
That could
resonance.
explain some of the faults, the cracks in the faults in Northern California through Southern Canada.
Yeah. Hmm. Resonance.org. Monitor of the Earth's heartbeat. And of course, I can't pull it up on.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Elisa. We are going to be experiencing another solar flare here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess it's supposed to be bigger than the last one we got.
Oh wow.
So that's something to look out for.
Interesting. Let me April. Here we go. The 21st, 22nd, 3rd. Okay, I got it. Oops, no, wrong one. Let's do yesterday's first. This was yesterday's Schumann resonance. Look at this. It's like nothing. It's crazy. If you were to put this as it is, it's the Earth's heartbeat. And looking at this as a paramedic, I would say that you're in definite bradycardia here. The heartbeat is definitely slowing down when it comes to it. That was the 22nd. Let's do, here's a little better. This one is a little better. This one was the 24th. This one's a little bit better. Let me see if I can find one that's kind of where it's more normal. Give me just a second here. Here we go. This was a couple weeks ago, and this one looks a little bit more normal. You see the difference between them? How this top part here was all dark purple, and you only had the bottom. This looks a little bit more like it's supposed to look. So it's definitely slowing down for some reason. And yes, CERN is back on. It's CERN is back live. They are running. They are running ALICE, and they are running the Large Hadron Collider. So that is definitely has an effect. We know that's been proven. It has an effect on it. So here's a picture, an overview of the stock market. Take a look at this. Like, look at this. Talk about heartbeat of the world.
A lot of stocks are going down. Notable is Budweiser and Fox.
Budweiser, oh my gosh. Budweiser's tanking.
Bad.
Fox is tanking. Look, they did not make interesting business choices.
No, they didn't. They tried to go woke and then they went broke.
Yep.
I mean, that's a pattern.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know why these multinational corporations thinks it's good to go woke. I mean, they've seen it with many businesses.
Yeah.
And it's still continuing to happen.
Exactly. This is what world has changed. This is not your mom and dad's world anymore. And I think they made some very poor choices. Terry's is interesting that they call it ALICE. Yeah. What's interesting is that this is my brand channel. This is our brand, Global Watchman News. My personal channel on YouTube was called Down the Rabbit Hole, and it had a picture of Alice, and that's what I've been known for, being Alice for a number of years. Quite a few. Pull up this is my Facebook, one of my Facebooks, and you can see where this was me for a number of years. This is what I use as my profile picture, is Alice. So that's me. Pretty funny.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be. I was looking at the LHC panels, and really it doesn't show too much activity that's going on.
Can you throw me the link to that? Something happened to my my save bar at the top about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I lost everything, and it went to a previous bar that I used like forever ago, and I can't find my LHC link.
I'll put it inside chat. I'm also going to put it into
Okay.
our main chat.
Thank
So anybody
you.
wanted to check it out, it's pretty cool.
Thank you. Let's take a look. Are they running? Beam setup, beam probe. Let me pull it up here so people can see it. Thank you. I'm going to put it back in my bar because, like I said, I don't know what happened. Let's see what they're running. Atlas looks like it's running. SP, yeah, ABT. Probe beam. Let me pull up this one real quick. Beam setup, injection probe beam looks like it's set to go. It doesn't look like they're running. Doesn't look like they're running beams at the moment, but they're set up to. Up here, beam setup or injection probe beam. It looks like it's set to go. Down here, the SPS looks like they're all set to go. It looks like they got one. They got one. Looks like it's probably there's a problem with one of them, so that's probably why that's not running. And then let's see, yeah, I don't know what time it is there. 3:22, 4:20, 3:20, 4:27. It's already tomorrow there. Looks like it's 3:22 in the morning there, so they're probably not running right now. So, what are we looking
And
at? This is the CERN. This is their control panel, and when they are up and running, you can basically watch that in real time. You can watch the beams by watching this right here, this screen here. Watching this one down here. If you can see my cursor moving, the CERN slide, this one right here. And you can watch the one, the SPS. Those are mostly the ones. Let me pull up the cryo. Yeah, it looks like they're not running at the moment, but they're set to, which means they'll probably start in the morning, their time. It's 3 in the morning there right now. So, and that could be the reason why we're seeing the dip in the Schumann resonance, because you know what that does. Every time they fire it up, we have some problems. Houston, we have a problem.
yeah, some major problems. And I mean, apart from that, there's some major humanitarian problems that's going on right now.
There are so many things going on right now.
Yeah. And fact of the matter is that, only thing we can do is just tell people about it.
Yeah.
I mean, this stuff is designed to take place.
Oh, yeah.
We can't stop what God puts out for us to go through. And
as it is written, so shall it be.
Exactly.
I
I
did
was talking to my pastor today, and I briefly mentioned about what's going on in California and the West Coast. It just seems like God is seeking judgment. The restrainer is starting to lift.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're starting on the West Coast.
Yeah, I've told you before that I've been watching it very closely because of all this snow that they've gotten. That when it melts, we're going to have another catastrophe with the mudslides, and this is they're talking now that the moisture was going to start destabilizing the fault lines. I read something about that. That's a possibility. So Dutch Sense has been watching California for a few weeks as well.
Yeah. For those who don't know, scientists are concerned about the West Coast as far as like California, all the way through southern parts of Canada. There has been a hole in the ocean floor that's releasing a fluid that is that's supposed to be lubricating the plates down there. And since it's releasing, there is a high potential that it could dry out. And what that means is it can yield up to a 9 magnitude earthquake on that coast. So not only will we be facing land disasters, possibly, also that has enough power to generate a tsunami too.
Correct. Back about 4 or 5 years ago, the not what do I want to say? It's the state level FEMA. It was their state emergency management team, emergency management department in Oregon and Washington State both passed out flyers to their residents, warning them that the Cascadia fault could, in the near future, go off. So, and then they warned me, of course, the tsunami, the devastation, and stuff like that. My son is in Washington State. And I mean, he can see Mount St. Helens from his almost his backyard. But yeah,
It has been reported about 13 hours ago there was a 3.1 magnitude earthquake hit the San Francisco Bay Area.
Yeah, they've been having quite a few there. There's been a cluster in New York State as well. I don't know if you know about that. There's been a cluster. There's been a few during at the what do I want to call it? The what's the one in Missouri, or the one in I can't think of the name of it. Anyways, in Missouri and things like that, that area. Somebody will get it in chat. Which one is it? Which fault line is it, guys? South of me. I know you guys know. Look at that. Wow. Yellowstone is also being acting kind of hokey. Weird hokey. James Emery, going back to Erdogan, unconfirmed claims that President of Turkey, NATO member, may have been poisoned during a meeting with Russian official. That's quite interesting that you say that, because do you guys remember when Russia poisoned Alexander Litvinenko with plutonium-210, and he died? That was in it was in 2006. So it's interesting that the Russians, they wouldn't be stupid enough to do it again, would they?
Well, it could be.
I don't know. Madrid fault line. Thank you, Red Pill. Thank you, Ken. The new Madrid fault line. Yes, they've been having some rumblings down there. So thank you, Alyssa. I appreciate it. I knew you guys knew what it was. I'm just so foggy lately. It's not even funny. My lupus is just off the charts between sleeping and my brain fog and my pain. The cat destroyed your R. Seren. That's okay. I had a computer that just typed all Q's for a while. Remember that? Yeah. How the irony of that. How the irony of me completely and
the letter Q. The letter on the keyboard.
Disavowing Q and saying what a psyop it is. And then I spilled water on my keyboard and my computer would only type Q's. Oh gosh.
You're not a shaman, I hope.
It's pretty funny. Jesus, Rick, I remember the keyboard. Oh my god. I have had more problems with my keyboard. It's not even funny. I do have a new one now, though, guys. I have one that actually has the letters on there so I can tell where I'm typing. Otherwise, I would have to
get a computer.
I've been praying for you, Lori. I don't have EMF. I've been shutting my Wi-Fi off at night, and Dave's back on the road, so I cannot turn my phone off, but I have been turning off my Wi-Fi. So, anyways, what a world we live in.
Yep. It's a very interesting world nowadays. We're witnessing, Sodom and Gomorrah. We're witnessing Days of Noah. We're witnessing Revelation. We're getting a whole smorgasbord of biblical prophecy here.
Yeah, that's right. That is right. Speaking of biblical prophecy, or speaking of that, Joy Pugh, her book is now out. If anybody's interested in pre-ordering it, her book is out.
Heck yeah, on that. She's got some good books out there.
Oh yeah, let me get you I don't have the link. It's drjoy.com, but I can show you the right here, End of Days. There we go, Dr. Joy. There's her book. It's at drjoy.com. You guys can go pre-order it. And Beastmark, End of Days. She's going to be on with us next month, and this is what she's going to talk about. Can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's always a pleasure to have her on the shows. I wish we could have did something tonight, but obviously circumstances prevented us from that happening. But at least we got on and be able to talk about Turkey. Guys, keep an eye out on the Middle East. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in our country right now, but just keep a side eye to what's going on there, because that's going to affect us as time progresses. We're already seeing what's happening in Israel when it comes to banning Christianity and the preaching of the gospel there, which that came out of left field. Like nobody would have thought that. There's so many Christians that live out there. To what's happening in Sudan.
What's interesting in Sudan is Sudan just agreed to allow Russia to put a base in their country. And the United States was like, oh, I don't think so. So there's two factions fighting over in Sudan. And so the United States went to the one faction and backed it, and Russia went to the other faction and is backing them. So there's actually a pseudo war right now between the United States and Russia being fought in the Sudan. So yeah, we need to keep a close eye on that.
Yep. When I say stuff is about to pop off, stuff is about to pop off.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing is Ukraine. Rumor has it it's going to be allowed to join NATO. You know what that's going to mean? That's going to mean that Ukraine's fight with Russia is our fight with Russia.
Yep, and all the other countries in NATO. And that is going to be a disaster.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, not looking forward to it, but you know what? I'm looking forward to what's going to come after.
Amen. I'm ready to go home.
The storm may come at night, but joy comes in the morning.
Exactly. So, all right, guys, we're going to wrap it up for right now. That's really all we wanted to just come up because, you know, it's Wednesday and you guys like your Wednesday shows. And I kind of felt bad. I guilted myself into coming live. You realize that, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I did. I guilted myself.
You're like 30 minutes. That's it.
And we've got, what, 36. Okay, well, all right. So whatever.
You're done.
All right, guys. We will be back. I don't know when. I don't know. I still got those docudramas to play for you guys. I did not forget about them. I've just been late. I'm going to be honest. I've been lazy. I've been lazy. So I will get them out to you, but in the next couple of days, I promise that. Ernie, thank you.
Thank you, Lori.
And as always, we are just putting this information out there for you guys to have the ability to know what's going on in the world, to be able to, change your whatever it is you need to do to fit it accordingly of what's happening. And as always, we don't want you to have the fear because fear is not from God. And it's just for informational purposes only. Until next time, guys, I want to thank all of our moderators. I want to thank everybody in chat. Eyes open, no fear.